Welcome, welcome. Yeah, just gonna do a quick solo pod here. Gonna rock and roll, go through last week a little bit, give somebody their give people their last flowers. And yeah, after that, just gonna go into the playoffs and get a good vibe going for everybody. So gonna get the screen share popping here in a sec. And yeah, man, congrats to those who made the playoffs. I don't love the way that I am in the playoffs, obviously, but it is what it is. But I'll probably get my just desserts here in a sec. So looking at last week, my game against Milkman. Yeah, I just kind of decided I knew Ryan was gonna lose, so I was gonna get in the playoffs. So didn't need to try. Herbert going down obviously stinks. Aaron Jones out on Monday night stinks, and then everyone else sucks. And interesting to see what Milkman does with Tyreek. Well, not more so interested to see how he is feeling after that ankle injury. And yeah, Team 85 obviously got to have some concerns about the playoffs with, Mike Evans and Tyreek having unlikely low days. So, it does present that potential fear of playoffs and all of that. But nonetheless, good win for Nate and the season on a high note. Team that continues to be hotter than anything that I've seen. Team Wuhan, probably one of the odds-on favorites to take it down this year. Odell again with the plug and play, fantastic game. Debo monster game again. McCaffrey and Will Levis, had a good week. So yeah, no, good for Wazinski. Putting up a big number, 146, gets the momentum going real high. I'm sorry, 146.9. Get the momentum going real high. I like to see that going in. And then this is a team that I really like that has a really great chance to win. I think pretty much everyone has a chance to win that's still alive. Maybe other than myself, obviously, but yeah, everyone else I think alive is in the fight. And then Team Nate finishes strong here. D Hop did end my season in my work league, which is unfortunate. Lost the tiebreaker by 5 points thanks to him. But nonetheless, goes down with a fight here. Just a team that kind of got riddled with injuries kind of all throughout the year. Makes the Bijan trade. I don't think it really would have mattered too much. Kyron Williams has been a really nice pickup for him. I suspect that being a keeper potential in the future. Stefon Diggs really disappointing year, kind of all up and through, and the Jared Goff trade clearly just didn't really work out. He's a very streaky fantasy quarterback and definitely felt the vibes here. So Team Nate I think definitely had a lot of good pieces, just didn't really come together for whatever reason. But good win for Wuhan. So end of the era of Procell's Ghost. Team will be assumed next year by a new member of the league who gets to make that keeper decision for him. So he is gone. He is no more in this league. So with that being said, but Team Coleman, yeah, two pretty, pretty piss poor performance. Not what you want to see. Getting ready to go to the playoffs here. Did not catch that Dalton Schultz was out. I don't think it mattered. He's not going to put up 30. Alexander Madison, I know, is already out for the playoffs. So spoiler alert there. That's kind of, you know, a tough spot to be for him. Just not going in healthy always stinks. And so we'll see how it goes out. Just Drake London assert himself in the starting lineup. Had a monster game. He's been very, very good all year. I shouldn't say very, very good, but he's had some really high flashes and some pretty low lows. So it's really hard to get a gauge on the worst kind of fantasy player there is. Just can't get a feel. So interesting decisions, but Rashi Rice continues to be awesome. Team Coleman finds their way in the playoffs. They'll face Wazinski, so that should be a very interesting matchup. We know Team Coleman can put up big numbers, but just seems to be very back and forth with it. So Bucher versus I'm on a new level. Again, shout out George for continuing to set his lineup, make pickups, and that is appreciated and it does not go unnoticed. So thank you for that. Yeah, but Team Bucher 125 is another consistent win. DJ Moore, I think he's questionable for this week, but probably will play. Monster game from Likely. Is that likely to continue? I do not know. MVP frontrunner Dak, in my mind. I know Purdy's the frontrunner, but I think Dak's really playing great. Pollard, another solid performance. So Kenneth Walker off on the bench. We'll see what he does with the starting lineup here. Should be interesting. Derrick Henry's been on fire with touchdowns last 3 weeks. So should be interesting. Tough team. Team Bucher gets the win, go in the right momentum here. And then Rearview putting up another great number. 146.8 against Tonkat. Tough year for Tonkat again. Team just really underperformed. A lot of nice names on the roster. Just couldn't find any consistency this year, and left it up to Dobbs. But obviously, when team hangs 147 on you, it's gonna be tough. And they left a lot of points on the bench too, with 40 piece from Lamar and Brees Hall, with 23 with Zach Wilson. So we'll see what he does. Playoff, some tough decisions. Rashad White continues to be a superstar for him. Jahmyr Gibbs, another really solid day in the passing game. Just kind of seems to be how it is. And Brandon Aubrey, fantastic day. So yeah, big number. Team that obviously third place with the points. Really just move in the right direction all year, really, and just finds themselves in a good position to really win here. So the last one here, just Rock Boys versus Risky. This is a really good matchup. Both teams perform pretty solidly. What do we get with Eckler and Kamara? I think they've proven they're pretty consistent. It's just with Derek Carr quarterback, you never know what you're going to get. Rock Boys huge. I think Taysom Hill was out, or I can't quite recall, but this team continues to Achilles heel to be the tight end position. Taysom Hill has somewhat fulfilled that role, so I expect him in the playoff lineup. But Adam Thielen, okay day. CeeDee Lamb, nothing special, but all up and down. 112, gonna win you some games. So no shame in that at all. And put up a good fight here with Mike. Mahomes is concerning. He's been concerning all year, but team finds a way. Saquon, nice night. Bijan, great trade. This has been two games now where he's had almost 20 points, and Raheem Mostert just keeps finding that end zone, man. So yeah, and does Zeke find the lineup here? A lot of interesting decisions here with some of these flex and position players. But I think this lineup's pretty much set, but I could see some additional thoughts and options being out there. And Kyle Pitts finds the end zone on the bench there, but I think Goddard was the right play with that game. So, here we go. We'll do it the fancy way. We'll go playoff bracket. So we'll start with me and Josh. I'll keep this one short and sweet. I think Josh wins. He deserves to win. My team is just riddled with injury. Starting Tommy DeVito for fun. Fuck you, Ryan, for stealing Joe Flacco from me. But yeah, appreciate glad he's getting some love, and it's been fun watching him play again. But yeah, I don't dislike some of my matchups or anything like that. I just think Josh has a superior team. He's the number one overall team for a reason. I think he wins. I think he wins handily and moves on here, and ends my dream here. So still they haven't fixed that all year, but anyway. Middle on the Risky versus Milkman, really good matchup here. Yeah, so it looks like I think Mike's just probably gonna roll with the same lineup he's had. Why not? He's been winning games. Might as well keep it going. The Milkman, we see all those cues on the right side of the screen there. You don't love to see that. Will Stroud play? You hope, because Fields against that Cleveland defense, you don't love that, and you can definitely throw against Tennessee. So we shall see what he does there. Josh Jacobs at ankle coming off a short week. Coming into tomorrow night's game. I don't know if he's practiced, or I don't know his decision at all, but that's obviously a really, really big impact here on if he's going to play or not, or this team's going to win, because it's really tough. Tyreek with the ankle sprain too. So what are we getting out of him? He showed he was human last week, and so did Mike Evans and Jerome Ford. I think Chicago is a good matchup as long as he plays, but it's a lot of question marks right now for Milkman, which you can't love. And even if these guys play, obviously they're going to be pretty banged up, so that might limit some of their production. So for that reason, I'm going to give Risky Dipper the nod here for the win, to beat his coworker here and business partner to advance to the semifinal round of the league. Might be for the first time, but yeah, it's a good squad. I like the matchups. I have injury concerns with Milkman, and that's never a fun spot to be when you're in the playoffs. We have Team Bucher versus Ed here in the rearview camera. Really, really interesting game here. I was kind of looking at this one earlier because I think it's going to be a really, really good one. Nick's got the full squad in there with Kenneth Walker sliding back in to the flex. I think this is the lineup that he goes with. Ed's probably going to stick with this lineup from what I'd imagine, but I know he's considering Purdy. He's been playing great. I know he's considering some of these tight end options. So we'll see some question marks here. But all in all, I think this lineup's really strong. Breece Hall should play. Will he be? I don't think it matters as much if he's banged up compared to some of these other guys like on Zach's team, just because he's going to get fed check downs and whatnot. So as long as his snaps aren't limited, I'm sure he'll have a good game. So yeah, just looking at this is really tough. He's kind of looking at Nick a little bit more. Um, you know, Waddle against New York. I don't love that super. And I don't know how DJ Moore his status is currently as well. See if we got anything on that. Um, so yeah, yeah. So I expect if he plays, he'll have a good game. Should is Cleveland defense, so we'll see. But they've been getting up some points all year, especially late in garbage time when they get a lead. So I kind of look for DJ Moore to kind of thrive in that, and then yeah. So some pretty decent matchups there. Seattle for the two Eagles receivers coming off two back-to-back losses for a team that hasn't lost pretty much all year. We'll see how they bounce. You know, Rashad White should go nuclear against Green Bay. They can't stop anything. Jimmy Gibbs is consistent, and Jacksonville's defense is very susceptible. I think they are back-to-back weeks of giving up over 30 points to some backup to Joe Flacco and to Jake Browning. So both good quarterbacks, obviously, have proven the last couple of weeks that they're playing at a pretty good level, but still Jacksonville is in that equation, so that's interesting. So I do expect Lamar to have a nice night. Usually plays pretty well in prime time from memory's sake. But yeah, Breece Hall against Miami. That Miami team's really something right now. They're not moving in the right direction. Still a really good squad, but definitely got some mental problems over there. So I think this is gonna be a really, really, really tight game. I really like a lot of these matchups. I think I'm gonna have to lean Ed here just because of the Rashad White factor. I think he's gonna blow that out, and I think a lot of these guys are gonna meter beat projections. But this is gonna be really close. I think this is probably like within a 5 point game. So thankfully for you home favorites, we got rid of the home field advantage last year, so you don't have to deal with that. It's just a straight up spread for you away teams. So yeah, I think I think it takes us one, but I think it's within five. I think it's really close. So last one to go over here, Wuhan versus Coleman. This one I don't think is going to take too long. Obviously, we have the news that Alexander Madison is going to be out. So we assume, obviously, we know at this point there's not much on the waiver wire as far as running backs go, or frankly, anything at all. So, uh, you know, Pierce and Gibson are probably your best bets, and you don't love either of those. I think he'll probably roll his dice with Pierce if I had to guess. But yeah, I mean, the projection is going to come in right around 100. Two against New York. Tua played really bad last week too. ETN against Baltimore, he might score, but who knows how well he does on the ground. But Kyron Williams ran right through us last week, so ETN could have a good week as well. We don't know. Metcalf against Philly. That's interesting. Philly's pass defense has not been very strong this year, though, so could have a huge game. And Jamar Chase, what nobody knows what we're going to get there. He is questionable. I don't know the extent of his injury. Dalton Schultz hasn't played last 2 weeks. If he does, he must start for sure. So we'll see. But yeah, Wuhan's full strength, um, ready to go here. The squad's great. Like I've said before all year, that running back down through tight end is probably the best you're going to find at this point in the year, especially with the way some of these guys are playing right now. So I'm gonna give Wuhan the edge here, and that's gonna be that, I think. So scoreboard wise here, so let's look at the playoff bracket. So I believe the winner of myself and Josh will play the winner of this. So Josh first, Mike. Rematch of last week should be fun to see that one through. And then I had Ed versus Wuhan here. That's really tough. If I'm going to give edges to teams, these guys are 1 and 2 with most points for a reason. So I'm going to project chalk next week, most likely, unless something crazy happens this weekend, which will definitely do fresh picks and all that. And then championship be Josh versus Wuhan, and that would be quite a sweet matchup to watch and come into. So yeah, so good luck to everybody this weekend. This was a really quick one. But yeah, so Josh, Mike, Ed, and Wazinski, I think you guys are gonna be playing for some money soon. And yeah, good luck to everybody. And that's really it for tonight. So short, sweet, get this out, get your lineup set, and good luck. See you.